GM fam, today is Friday, January 24th. It's the first day of the rest of our lives, and I sincerely hope for all of our sakes today is all of our best day yet. We are very excited for many reasons. As you saw, we had an amazing video that played at the beginning from our sponsors at Protocol FX, so make sure you click the QR code in the upper left. They got some pretty cool updates. It's stablecoin season. They've got FX USD, and it has just spread onto Base, so make sure to check all of the action out there. And we are very, very thrilled because Fridays we like to grab a beverage, kick back, relax, and have some fun. And we are thrilled to have Amadeo and Sean from Yieldnest joining us, longtime guests of the show, and just always a pleasure to hang out with both of you guys. So Amadeo, Sean, welcome.
Likewise, amazing to be here again. And yeah, so many things have happened. So it was time for a bit of a catch up, and amazing to see you. And yeah, great timing. You know, it's still I think everything that happened is still kind of daunting for everyone the last couple of days or weeks, I guess.
It's been an absolute blur. Let me just tell you that the Leviathan newsroom yesterday was just absolutely on fire because we had so much news happening. And you usually, so the free Twitter/X API has exactly 17 calls you're allowed to make per day. Usually there's not enough news, so we're able to stay in that free tier. But there was so much news coming out every 10 minutes that in addition to figuring out how to get the headlines perfect, I had to also be sitting there manually posting them because the bot was breaking down. So it was firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, amazing. Well, it's I love the evolution and how everything is going. It's really cool to see that the news is being propagated very well, and it's really good to see everything going well.
Yeah, I mean, it seems and you guys can give your thoughts on this, but it seems like the news cycle is so fast nowadays that there's not even time for things to set in, right? A headline comes, and then 10 minutes later, another headline comes, and the other headline is old news. This idea of 24 hours of something dominating the news cycle doesn't really hit anymore. So as such, I feel like Yieldnest has had a ton of amazing updates that feel like they happened centuries ago.
Yeah, exactly. So for Yieldnest, we all the way back, in the deep bear market days of Leviathan news, when even Garrett visited Thailand, and we
I know, right?
Screen together with the 10 people that were left in DeFi, where we were talking about crypto and DeFi, and then talking about structured products. This DeFi stuff is pretty difficult, and I think to get more people in, we should probably layer the yield into one token, so everything becomes a little bit simpler for users. And kind of that philosophy spun up into Yieldnest, spun up into restaking, and we're going full circle where restaking is great, and it's going to have a lot of implications. But I see a lot of the restaking protocols are currently, in my opinion, a little bit under delivering onto what they promised, and we go just full circle focusing on restake protocols and DeFi. So basically, you still have that concept of okay, you want one token to generate the maximum amount of yield, and that's what we still offer. And that one token will now not only rebalance across restaking protocols, but also DeFi elements and other elements. And we have launched our AI agent to improve and educate and tweak these strategies as well. So a lot of things has happened, and it's all kind of in flight, but it's also live. So it's so we're moving at all cylinders here. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, you talked a bit about how you think the other LRTs are kind of under delivering. So let's go ahead and start a flame war. And what axis or dimension do you think they are under delivering? Is it yield, decentralization?
Not necessarily the LRTs, the liquid restaking tokens. It's more the restake protocols. I thought with the protocols now, looking at Eigenlayer, Symbiotic, and others, it was this whole cool thinking of hey, we have this really pristine security. We can export this, and we can do network security, and we can build networks easier. And there was also in the beginning a lot of talk about economic security, instant dispute resolutions, rebuilding the mortgage-backed security market. All these narratives were hit, and everybody kind of started to understand it. And of course, the airdrops, etc. But unfortunately, what I see now is that the restake protocols, and it's the classical problem in our crypto and DeFi industry, that a lot of the things we want to do, once you kind of start doing it, turn out to be 10 times more complex. So I think that's the same thing that happened to the restaking protocol. I don't think there's any bad stuff. It's just they tell a story. The story is great and everybody wants it, and it's like, okay, let's build it. We have money, we have people, everything, and then this is going to take a year or two to fully build the proofs that are needed in order to say what I said in an earlier stream. Garrett, I don't know if you remember that, but a restaking analogy would be, hey, we were the tree here, so it's great. Like, I make an agreement with Garrett, and I say, well, the weather tomorrow, it's going to be 30 degrees in Bangkok or in Thailand, wherever. And then Garrett says, like, no, I think it's going to be 25. We make a bet, and Sean says, okay, we make a bet, and then Sean could restake on that bet to say, like, okay, I make sure that happens, and we pay a fee. Right, it's like a more advanced escrow kind of thing. That would be a very simple use case, and those mechanisms we can still not really build on these platforms, right? So these platforms are still in development. There's still a lot of things to do. The SDKs need to be better, and everything needs to be better. And it's great because there is a lot of opportunity. But I do think that looking at this cycle, coming back to this whole cyclical movement of crypto, I think DeFi is gonna explode, and I think restaking will explode, or maybe in the next cycle or in a longer time frame, 6 months to a year or longer, where those real yields of, like, okay, we get insurance companies, mortgages, we get real businesses using these security flows or instant dispute resolutions. That's going to take a while, but I'm quite certain that it will happen. Just don't know when. But what is happening for sure is DeFi and AI agents, and so we make sure to focus on the things that we see is the most efficient for our engineering time and our time spent, and that's why we focus now on more DeFi strategies and AI agents that can help us improving these DeFi strategies.
Yeah, I'm really glad you're here to talk about this, because I've always been super interested in AI, but there's been so much going on with crypto and everything that I haven't had a chance to really dive into this AI agents narrative. I see it everywhere, though, so maybe you guys can help, like, break it down for me. Now, I caught this really cool thread by the Smart Ape talking about believing that leading DeFi protocols have figured it out and try how they're going to evolve their DeFi protocols into DeFi AI. So why don't you give me your take on it?
If you scroll a bit up and open that image, scroll a little bit to the top, and that image, this one. I think it's I'm a visual thinker, and Sean, me and Sean have the kind of aligned or maybe a little bit different opinions on it. I think DeFi is DeFi AI, DeFi. You see, it's hard to pronounce. I think there is still, it's amazing, and it's evolving very, very fast. But also DeFi is evolving very fast, right? It's not that DeFi is done and we're building a new kind of block on top of that. DeFi is in full motion, in full development, and there's still so much we need to do in order to get price settlement on chain, to build a fully sovereign, fully self-sovereign money layer. So there's still a lot of work we as a industry need to do to make DeFi, harden DeFi, do a lot of things on it. And then we have the AI narrative, right? I see them as more like two separate components, where you have an AI agents, large language models, etc. And then we have DeFi routes, multi-chain, accounting. There is like automated market makers, impermanent loss, toxic order flow. There's many issues that we need to look into, and these things it's better to kind of separate them, see where AI is useful, where is DeFi useful, and then see where we can combine it. And that's what we're now doing. And it's and maybe Sean also wants to say something about that. And in my opinion, it is a very synergistic movement, where these routes and all these complexities can be removed from humans by agents and make DeFi more simple. But at the same time, I also think there is a lot of risks involved in just giving an agent your keys and letting it do whatever it wants. So there is this mid-mode that we need to come to. Yeah. What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, well, as you know, I'm super bullish on this. But yeah, one of the things, I mean, at Yieldnest, we're always trying to simplify DeFi, and everything we do works towards this goal. And I really believe that these DeFi AI agents are going to really simplify DeFi in the future. Yeah, I think in the beginning it's going to be probably chaotic because it enables so many other risk vectors. If you give agents wallets and they start doing stuff and other people let agents move their money around, yeah, I see a lot of potential risks there. But that'll get solved, and I'm extremely bullish on like AI agents being able to interact with DeFi for people. And I think this is a huge unlock to an audience that maybe DeFi has not captured. Like you no longer maybe will need to use a Web3 wallet directly. You can just create like an account with an account abstraction and sign into like a AI agent chat GPT like interface, deposit some funds and talk to the agents, and the agents will give you a strategy for what you're trying to accomplish with your goals, and it can basically just execute that plan for you. This is what I'm really excited about in the future. That I think this is coming. I don't think it's that far away.
So let me ask some questions here, because I'm also a big believer in AI. I probably use it multiple times per day at this point. Now, that being said, like I'm also super cognizant of where it falls short, right? Like it is terrible at some things, and in particular, like it just like makes stuff up all the time, right? So whenever I'm like using AI, like I use it a lot for like coding, for example, but I will like not super trust it with production code, but I will use it to like write out 1,000 unit tests that it can run against production level code. Like if you're dealing with a smart contract, and then you can like look through it and be like, okay, half these tests are garbage, so let's get rid of those. But the other half are pretty good and like actually like testing for some weird corner cases, so let's keep that. So like I feel like when I keep AI in like a support role, it does very well. But when I see it at like just like making like about like a 50% error rate, I'm like, I would never trust it with my private keys. I never trust it with my funds. But like maybe I'd trust it to like recommend some strategies to me that I could like look over. Like how do you kind of balance the like guardrails you need to keep in place to make sure it's not just going to like do something completely stupid, like ape the wrong USDM, put it all into Mochi instead of Mountain Protocol or something?
Yeah. So I can take it, Sean. Or you want? I have some insights there, right? So I think I agree with that, but I agree with Sean and I agree with Garrett. Like yes, like it is coming. You will in the future be able to just give a private key to an AI agent will trade for you, because there probably will be guardrails in place, proof systems that are like, oh, you do this transaction, you always want to have XYZ results, or kind of clear parameters that you can embed into these agents and really control your money, your data, and everything that it does. But then it will do things for you in those kind of guardrails that are maybe set by your security AI agent that works for you as well. So I do think that is coming. But of course, like with all these innovations, there's always like steps to go for 0 to 1, right? So I think agents, what we have now, like, oh, they do Twitter stuff and they can actually analyze portfolios. And Nest AI is trained with the Cyberpunk Manifesto and with all our beautiful grassroots DeFi knowledge that Sean and I embedded into Nest AI. That's great. That's a 0 to 1 moment. But then to go to like trading and portfolio management, I think there's a couple of steps in between, and that's where we want Yieldnest to operate in. How I see it is that the way that this could work is that you say, all right, and this is what we are now building on with Nest AI as a portfolio manager or some sort of a AI advisory, right? Where it, like, let's say with the three of us, we're like, hey, we have some crypto money. Let's put it together in a wallet and have AI kind of 24/7 monitor things and help us with our investments. So how would that work? Basically, we could create a group with an SDI Telegram group, and then give it create a safe, or maybe it will create a safe for us. and then put it on as one of the signers. So then the AI could look at your portfolio that is in that multi-sig, and then look at the portfolio and say, all right, it could propose one strategy a week. And maybe if you're, pay a little bit more, it can propose a strategy, a portfolio movement or a transaction per day, something like that. We're figuring this out as we go. But I think that's the in-between step. So like the AI will start to propose transactions, but I think for safety and also for people to get more comfortable with it, it will probably be it's proposing transactions for you, and you still have to sign off on them. That's my opinion.
That makes sense. So, like, when can we try it? Like, we have like some very small, like 3-digit, maybe 4-digit if we're lucky, funds being held by the Leviathan multisig. Could we be a test subject for it? Like, I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah, soon more.
Yeah, super degen. Hopefully within the next month, we start actually like pushing this out and get it going in the first real test development phases of the actual transactions and portfolio management.
Yeah, definitely let us know. It'd be a lot of fun to like do it on a live stream where we get to like actually see it. So like, let's talk about who specifically it's targeting. Is it looking more for like the passive yield farmer? Because I could definitely see applications where like, hey, like this curve pool is no longer emitting rewards and you're stuck in there. You might want to move it out. Like that would be super helpful, right? Or is it like more like, hey, like this random meme coin is up 80%, like ape in now in the next 5 minutes, or like you might miss the boat?
I think in the beginning, go for it.
I do. Ideally, it'll be for all types of people. You just discuss with Nest what you want to accomplish, what are you into, and Nest can accomplish this for you. But this is kind of the beauty of it, is that if you're a degen meme coin trader, well, Nest could watch that for you and give you alerts or suggestions on that. But if you're actually like a core DeFi user and you're maximizing capital efficiency in curve pools, and you can have Nest spit out these kind of alerts for you and suggestions of like where's the rewards getting directed to. Like, this is something that will be very feasible. It's not going to be easy to do, of course, but it's all a matter of all of the data consumption that Nest is consuming. But this is definitely on the roadmap for what Nest can do. For our
and maybe
users.
it will even buy Squid a little bit or other, depending on your degen setting, right?
Hey, I'm a little sick, so I'm not going to stay too long, but I just wanted to come and say happy birthday to Garrett here.
What?
Oh my God! Happy birthday, Garrett!
Oh,
That's
wow.
amazing!
Whoa.
Isn't
Happy
this,
I didn't think about
Congratulations!
it is your birthday today, right?
I'm going to plead the Fifth Amendment on that one, but it's always a great day to celebrate your birthday, whether it's the actual day or not. So thank you for the tidings.
Well, no, you know what? I have a bunch of the reason I say it, right, is that so Second Set Maze, great guy that he is, reached out to me this week and found one of your old blog articles from like a couple of years ago, right? So from 2002, you wrote this article called "The Pursuit of Happiness." And yeah,
He's mixing that up with the Will Smith movie, but go on.
Well, no, I mean, look, let's pull it up. I mean, I think we were. Let's see. Is that what you put on the suit today?
I put on the suit because whenever I put on the suit, curve goes up, and whenever I was dressing more casual, curve went down. So I'm back to the suit full time.
Right. So here we are. Here's Garrett out in
GM friends. This is not something I often disclose, but I do like to celebrate with whoever's around. Today happens to be a bit of a birthday, and not just any birthday, but one of the big ones. So
You'll notice I
now
didn't
that
say
I'm one
whose
of the wizened
birthday.
elders of the crypto space, I think that everyone should take this opportunity with the markets in a ton of turmoil to focus on what can make you personally happy. For me,
right,
I've found my personal happiness.
good.
So you'll notice that handsome gentleman said that it was a bit of a birthday. He didn't say whose birthday, so it could be anybody's birthday.
Are you sure?
Also, the date doesn't even line up. So anyway, do appreciate the sentiment. But I'm actually glad you're here because we were talking about YOLOing Leviathan's entire treasury into Yieldnest's AI. And as a multi-signer, I feel like you should be privy to this plan.
Oh, I have a lot of, but so is it or is it now your birthday? Because I have a lot of birthday greetings that we've like gathered from everybody that I
Oh my
wanted
god,
to
you
share.
kidding me?
No. I got like 5 or 6 from our wonderful community.
Oh
And
man, that's amazing.
let me bring some of these up. So we went out, and so this is all second set mates, right? So you'll have to thank him afterwards. So let me just pull some of these up. Okay, so this first one is from Ali G, right? And here we go. So, dear Garrett, your dedication to showing up daily in this circus with a suit and tie, but nothing sort of inspirational. Happy birthday, dude. Grateful to get to know you. From Ali G.
Oh man, Ali just got one of the best llamas of all time, so that means a lot.
And this next one is from the Viper team.
Oh, nice.
Oh man, that is great. Missing on the snakes though.
And then there's some squids here in the sides, right?
Squids, not snakes. Vipers are snake. Oh, they're kind of big. Oh, I see it. It's got like a little
tongue you can
sticking
see
out
the
of that tentacle. The
exactly.
tentacle snake. Very cool. Very cool.
And this one's from Naga King. It says, "Dear Garrett, thank you for all that you've done for the Kerr community. Truly don't know how you do it all. Have a wonderful birthday. I hope to see you sometime soon."
Oh man, Naga King, I would throw my heart out to you, but that got Elon in a bit of trouble, so I'm going to not throw my heart out to you.
And then the last one I have here is from Wormhole, and he said that they say the real profit is the friends we made along the way. Well, that may be 100% cope. I'm deluded enough to buy into all that crap. You're one of the bright spots in my crypto journey, and I'm blessed to have you as a friend. From Wormhole.
Oh man, that's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, so like, all right, I don't like to go on and on about my birthday because I don't want to be main character. But like my policy is always just kind of like, don't make a big deal about it and live an amazing life. And if you live an amazing life and every day is a celebration, then your birthday will be great no matter what. And I feel like the fact that this just happened is evidence of that. Amazing surprise and very, very cool. Thank you, everybody. Really quite an honor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm dying over here with the fever and everything, but I wanted to come on and wish you a happy birthday as well too. So, it's always a joy to have you on, and I know that everybody else is very happy to have you here.
Well, thank you all very much. Thank you all very much. But I'm very serious about that. I do not want to be the main character. We got Amadeo and Sean here, so I'd like to turn the conversation back to them. But I do feel very honored that I get to celebrate my birthday with two of my favorite chaps. 3 if you count Sam joining and popping in for a few minutes here. Although you're only like 10% here.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to drop out. I'm gonna go lay down, guys. Yeah, thanks everybody. I'm gonna go take some Dayquil and chill out again. All right, have a good one, guys.
Get well soon, man. Get well soon, Sam.
All right, bye.
Yeah.
Take care. Thank you. That's amazing. Congratulations, Garrett. Do we need to sing for you, or it's okay?
I don't know. We're closing in
could
at 500 viewers, so I think if you sing, we're going to see that number plummet. But I don't know. Maybe you got a gorgeous voice. Who knows?
I think if I sing, it's gonna plummet. Maybe Sean's better. I don't know.
Yeah, same. No, it'll go down.
No. I mean, like seriously, I was like looking at the calendar. I was like, okay, who is going to be the people I guess celebrate with on the Llama Party for my birthday? And when I saw it was you two, I was like, oh, that's amazing. So
You didn't say anything, else you would have prepared some birthday specials. I didn't know, but this is fantastic.
Yeah, wish we knew.
At any rate, let's get back to Yieldnest AI. So you could, for example,
as a birthday gift, I can announce that also Leviathanus or yourself will get a Nest AI airdrop, like a small token of appreciation to yourself. We could definitely arrange that. So that's gonna be great, and we're gonna do more. Yeah, let's continue.
So what could we do then with that Nest token? Could we use it somehow to actually like use and juice the AI?
Yeah, that's a great question, right? So what can we do with the Nest token, right? So we're as Yieldnest, we are at the verge of our own TGE, of our token generation event, of our there we go.
No, wait, Rex is here?
Yeah.
Hey, Rex.
I guess so.
I literally jumped in the middle of a sentence. Maybe if you guys want to.
There's a guy. I invited Rex to come. I invited Rex to come. I just was sharing some of the messages that some of the other community had said to Garrett, happy birthday. But I wanted you to come up here as well too, Rex.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. So sorry. I was in a meeting. I completely missed the first 26 minutes of this. But my friend Garrett, happy birthday. You are I don't know. Just like thank you for everything you do for this community. I'm glad that you're getting the love back. And man, I hope you're doing something fun today in your suit.
I am. I'm doing a llama party and getting a chance to share it with great friends and fam. All of you, a bit of a surprise party, which is a fun way to celebrate.
Cool. So tell us what's the best and worst thing you did last year? How old are you? 24?
Yeah, he's turning 23.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's many different kinds of age, right? There's your biological age, there's your like Brian Johnson metabolic age, and then there's the age you identify as. And I feel like we have to shore up our numbers with the younger demographic. So I'm going to identify as a Zoomer. I'm turning 23. We're going to live cast this on TikTok.
And also, just to be clear, all of us are geriatric for this industry.
I don't know. Sean looks pretty youthful.
Yeah, no, fair.
I'm getting old.
All right, guys. Well, I think you should continue talking about Yieldness. Yeah, according to the title, Yieldness, and continue like pushing the crypto space forward. But Garrett, happy birthday. I will make sure to send you your gift, which is a basket of Trump coin and fart coin. And yeah, man, just have a good one.
Right on. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by, friend.
Of course.
Let's go.
And the fun of live streams, right?
It's amazing. I love it. It's such an open stream. This is this kind of testament to how open Leviathan News streams are. For everybody, you can always go to the Leviathan News chat. You can always join the Llama Party or the birthday celebrations.
As it turns out, yeah. No, I actually I'm feeling bad for all of you because you came here to talk about Yieldnest, and I just hijacked the conversation towards myself, which I did not mean to do. You're in the middle of explaining what it is the Yieldnest Nest token can do. So is it going to be able to be used for the AI?
Yeah, so it's fascinating, right? So we're in this battle, this circus that we call crypto, with a lot of different variations of things, right? And we, as Yieldnest, also are gearing up for our TG. So at the end of Q1, ideally at the end of February, beginning of March, we are ready to go, right? We are ready to move forward. And we thought to ourselves, well, we have this kind of sub-DAO structure that we've been working on for a while, where you have like the main Yieldnest DAO. And because of our new architecture, we can actually connect different products to it. This, most people that know Yieldnest understand, we have like max LRT, so like 4 derivative products. But we can also add like other components to it, right? In this case, the first kind of sub-DAO connected to the Yieldnest DAO is going to be the Nest AI. And Nest AI also has its own token. The Nest AI token you will get an airdrop if you hold it at a certain snapshot date, right? So definitely participate in the speculation of the meme narrative, the meme era that the Virtuals platform and the Nest AI token gives you. And on top of that, you'll get an airdrop, and the actual Nest AI project will develop itself further. And then later on, and I think Sean has a better explanation for that, but it can be used in the terminal, it can be used as your personal wealth advisor, many more things. Maybe Sean can explain that a bit more.
Yeah, I think one of the first things that will happen with the Nest token is basically it'll be used you need to hold a certain amount of Nest to access certain features to interact with Nest AI. That will be the first use case. And we have other plans that maybe we don't want to quite share everything right now, but we will be building out more utility for the Nest token. And we would like to see this. We will be using this in DeFi as well to create some interesting pairings with it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So it sounds like if I want to, like the best thing to do with it would just be to put it in the wallet and forget about. There's not like a staking mechanism or a locking mechanism or anything like that, at least initially.
No, initially not, and we kind of want to focus like everything on the YND token like TGE that's coming up, and the Nest AI token is really designed to already do a step in that direction to showcase that we're always trying to be on the bleeding edge of AI, crypto, DeFi, and the Nest token will give you a part YND airdrop, and you will hold this token that will turn and generate revenue and will grow as an AI agent in this new agentic world that we're going into. So
Nice. Now, how do we set we were talking a bit before the show, and like there's like so many like quote unquote like AI agents that are just like nothing, right? Like they're just like a chat bot connected to a meme coin. And I already like from the description of it, like the fact that like it lets you access like different levels of AI in an actual like real functioning agent, I think on some level sets it apart. But like, can you go ahead and like talk a bit like about like the landscape of deep AI as a narrative? Like, do you think it's going to like the whole like narrative is going to get taken down by some of these like scammier type projects?
That's a good question. I think that I still don't know how to pronounce this word. I'll just say DeFi AI narrative. I think it's going to be, it seems like there will be some projects that may hurt the narrative, but I think there's so many good projects coming up that are doing really valuable things that people will kind of forget about all of these more scammy projects and see through all of that. I think there's a lot of good teams building really valuable AI agents. So
and maybe Sean, you could highlight. So, for example, the Nest AI is not just a virtuals click deploy agent. We actually build our own agent with the ELISA framework. So having the agent on the virtuals platform, but since the recent update on virtuals, we can bring our own models. We don't need to use the game model from virtuals. We were actually able to connect our own ELISA AI model that will give us much more flexibility. And as Sean said, it's an active development, and we can connect more components to it.
That's really cool. Are you going to dog food it? Are you going to use it to manage your own treasury first?
It will manage Nest will manage its own treasury and be an active user of Yieldnest products as well. Because just Yieldnest products are good. So
I'm super.
It's providing high yields.
I'm super excited for the Nest AI to be like, because we're like, I mean, it's so funny in virtuals. If you go to the tab and you want to look for Nest AI, you have to go to the sentient AI models. That's how they call it. But it's like the model in itself. I want to train it so that when it gets its YND airdrop and it has its treasury, what is it going to do? That maybe it's going to buy a little bit more YND. It's going to ride that wave. It's going to go back into Nest. So you get this, reflexive price curve between YND and Nest, right? And volatility is money in our industry, right? So if you create more volatile tokens around your main token that actually do something, that's net positive. Yeah, here we go. So it's actually a wild story on that launch. If you see the beginning of the beginning peak, it boosted up to $6 million by some snipe bots that were clearly competing with each other. So you start an AI agent and you get a bunch of agents or bots trying to snipe each other. So luckily no users. And then after that, this is like the standard flow. Yeah. So it's an interesting curve. And we just launched it, and it's obviously not it's going. The YND token launch is going to be much bigger, and centralized exchanges involved, and all that stuff. A lot of things to announce there. But for this, it's just this really cool step. It starts off as a prototype, and then the prototype kind of gets filled up, and then the bond itself, and then it becomes a sentient, quote unquote, because I think that's a bit hypey term, but it kind of is a sentient agent that will, and that's what it is right now. So it's that's pretty cool. Yeah, we're in a sentient agents. Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, I think just to add to that, like we chose to build, I did a lot of research on different frameworks and decided to use the ELIZA OS framework. The ELIZA team has done a lot of great stuff and provided an amazing framework to start with. So we're building on top of this and building out a lot of custom components to put up those guardrails for Nest as well, and kind of give it capabilities over time to do all of these things that we're saying it's going to do.
Nice. And then
So it's
Click the icon.
yeah, so I'm on the website here, and it's just showing me the current time right now. At first, I thought it was a timer counting up to something, maybe.
it's just the time. But if you click on, so the idea here is it's going to be imitating like an iPhone. So each app, there'll be many app icons as this grows. So if you click on the Nest avatar, that's the first, just like it gives you an about section where you have to choose which pill you want to go.
Well, obviously, I'm gonna
and then that'll take you
go
to that
degen here,
section.
but is there a reason I should not? Should I? You tell me.
No,
You just get kicked out if you click the
you
blue
should
pill.
choose
It says go away. There we go. So it's like hidden, like a lot of the, and there you see Yieldnest as well. Like, so a lot of the, it's like we also like follow the white rabbit, like go down the rabbit hole. And the agent, if you see his behavior, his tweets are very cyberpunky, mysterious, with a bit of a feistiness to it, but still, you can see the purpose of nature.
Yeah, we tried to infuse a little bit of the Agent Smith personality from the Matrix.
That's hilarious.
Nest personality will evolve over time as we're continuing to develop Nest, and it's the biggest challenge we have is data inputs, and we're working like crazy to get it to ingest a lot of different data sources, so it knows can really like analyze all this complex data at a rapid pace.
Nice. Well, we definitely need more people wearing suits in DeFi, so I definitely applaud this. And I'm a little terrified of what's going to happen if a Matrix agent has been trained on the sovereign individual, because I feel like it might go rogue and like start buying up Bitcoin for its own private reserve or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Never
and actually, a good example, for example, how it kind of responds, and it like we're not involved. Like there's no Sean or me sitting behind a computer doing it. Like in the beginning of the DeFi AI or the DeFi agent thing, there was a lot of human things, but now the ELIZA framework is very advanced, and there's no input or way for us to alter it. You can see there was this tweet from Yieldnest, and you can see it like automatically responds right into the context. It understands what's happening, it understands it's retweeted, it understands like, oh, thank you for this opportunity. I'm gonna talk about myself, and it understands it has a self. See, and that it responds that tweet underneath that one. We didn't do anything. It's kind of it goes, and it also comments on interesting new DeFi news. So maybe if we should let it follow Garrett, Sean, potentially, and then you will see Nest AI coming into your conversations time to time and doing the cyberpunk stuff.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Okay, so I'm getting a good sense of how this is being built out. Are you just going to eventually start tweaking its prompt to always push the conversation towards recommending Yieldnest products? So, for example, maybe it'll be like, "Oh, sounds like you're having a rough day. You should, soothe your soul with some Yieldnest Max LRTs or something."
Yeah, it's already trained like that. So it's sometimes it does make these references. But yeah, Sean, what is your view on that?
Yeah, we did that at first, just because it would be more fun for us, and of course, we wanted to show Yieldnest all the time. But yeah, ideally, it won't do that forever. It'll really naturally choose the best products that are out there in DeFi. And yeah, I mean, of course, I wanted to always show Yieldnest, but in order for it to show Yieldnest, Yieldnest needs to keep developing great products, and I think we will do that. So Nest will, I believe, naturally keep pumping Yieldnest over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't plan to. I don't want to be altering the prompts. I really want to be like very serious with this and not like be tweaking it to favor anything. I want it really to stay truly autonomous and really find the best opportunities in DeFi and help people with their financial goals in crypto and DeFi.
Makes sense.
Exactly.
Makes
And
sense.
Also to our mission, we need to generate the best products, and then yes, it will always find us. If we don't, we will ask him what can we do better, because the AI agent is also advising Yieldnest, right? So it advises us on our own product. So it should be, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that is part of the goal, right? To get Nest such like just have so much context and awareness of everything in DeFi and even the financial markets to be able to, for us to utilize Nest to come up with new strategies for us to implement.
Makes sense. So like you touched on it very little bit at the beginning, but one of the things I've wanted to talk with you guys about that we haven't had a chance to discuss is the max LRTs for Ethereum, which I think is like a really cool product. And like when it launched, like correct me if I'm wrong here, like the concept was it was basically going to be like the highest yielding ETH by virtue of the fact that you have like a lot of flywheel tokens. You'll be able to like really juice the yield. And what's the update on that? Like, how has that been going so far? What have you learned from that, etc.?
Yeah, it's the whole vision behind it, and I can explain it on this stream because like we can always go a little bit deeper here, right? So the vision is to, if you scroll down to that, like the nice the stacked yield streaming one more, yeah, there, right? So go up a little, yeah, here we go. So the idea is to kind of have like one token, one max LRT. We're gonna build for starters 4 derivatives and later maybe more, but that could be way down in the future. But it's an ETH max derivative, BTC max derivative, USDC max derivative, and BNB max derivative. And these assets that you hold like, let's say YN ETH max. You hold YN ETH max token, YN ETH X, that is the token ticker. And if you hold that token, then the capital that's injected lands in this like top level vault, and then the top level vault has this allocate funds function in it that it then kicks down to like complexer strategies like downstream. The reason why we do that is because we have invested significant engineering time in YN ETH, which is the native restaking ETH on Eigenlayer. That was quite a lot of complexity, integrating, improving the validators, and I'm not going to go into details for that, but we were thinking to ourselves, let's keep the max top level vault very simple, very clean, very safe, and then kick complexities downstream, and then have different strategies where it can inject itself into. So it's actually very similar, and we got a lot of inspiration from Yearn v3. We're using Yearn v3 vaults as strategy vaults, so there's a very much synergy between Yearn and Yieldnest. And what we do, we create kind of the single YN ETH max derivative token that is able, with multi assets in its top level vault, to actually allocate and allocate to strategies below that. And there actually are some technical challenges with that, because you have the accounting of all the different strategies, and how do you account that into the main top layer vault, right? That's always the issue with creating these vaults, right? Well, now because of this new co-process technology and other technologies that are coming up and that are being developed and are live, some of them, we see a future where that accounting, that multi-strategy accounting, and syncing it back to one top-level vault that can act like as a glue, where you could imagine a scenario where you have YN ETH max, which settles on ETH layer 1. So the vault strategy settles itself on ETH layer 1, but it's capable of actually deploying strategies on layer 2s or on other chains even, or, that is the future vision we have with this architectural like direction we're taking. And we see that we're starting with basic strategies, and we expand that step by step over time. Because the goal is to get the highest risk-adjusted returns, right? We're not going to say, oh, this vault has like 300% yield, 400% yield. It's going to give you the highest risk-adjusted returns on your assets, and it's going to actually look like, all right, you have ETH in your vault on ETH layer 1. All right, now there's this beautiful curve pool on layer 1, and you can get some extra yield by going there, and we monitor all the risk and defects, etc. By using Hyper Native and other incident prevention tooling, which is normally quite expensive for retail or even professional users. We embed all of it. So if one of the strategies has an issue, it kicks all the funds back upstream to the top level vault, and it doesn't lose any principal. And we are able to rebalance, for example, across different LP positions. So it's a little bit like a tokamak, but instead of rebuilding tokamak, we would probably hook into tokamak, and then we go to different pools. Or we would hook into different lending and borrowing protocols. So we combine all the best of DeFi into one token and into like a single strategy with constant monitoring and the capability to go multi-chain for you, but still settle your like balances on layer 1. If there's an issue, it ejects and it goes back to its kind of home base. So that's kind of the goal we take here. Yeah, that's a lot of information, but I think yeah, that is the goal, and that's the vision and the direction we're going. And it's YNEFX is already live. We're testing it right now, and it's going to go to product. It's already in production, but it's still kind of its first earlier version, and the new version is probably going to be deployed in the next 2 weeks, and then the full max LRT vaults are going to be live.
Got it. So a lot of information there, like you say. Let me just make sure I understand this completely. So you have currently the YNETH token, and this what you're talking about with this is the YNETH token, which hasn't been launched yet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the YNETH token has actually been doing really good. This is the chart showing YNETH relative to wrapped Steth. So like.
Mm. Yeah, and again, that this is not the best pool we set up, and we kind of YNETH is still going to be a main driver, but it's going to be an underlying strategy of YNEFX, right? Because we see the market is moving so fast. When we finally finish our really kind of in-depth eigenlayer integration, already Symbiotic and others came out, and we're like, oh my god, now we need we want to have one token, one liquidity focus, and then underneath kick it to multiple strategies, and the user just sees a high yield. And yeah, and my philosophy of DeFi is always make it super simple on the top, but then I will give users many ways to dig all the way deep into risk reports from Llama Risk, or going into an advanced mode to see exactly what the strategies do, how they will rebalance, etc., etc.
Yeah. And yeah, Llama Risk is, I was going to ask about them next, because I know that you've been working with them and they remain fantastic as far as the quality and depth of their research. So one of the things I was looking for was, are they going to be doing a report on YNETH once it gets finalized?
Exactly, yes. And it's already in the works right now. So we have this general protocol assessment we're doing to dive deeper into all these dynamics and all the ins and outs of Yieldnest. Yeah.
Nice. Well, we got a question from a fantastic name, Suit of Muscle. I think that might be, I don't know, a shout out to me, another suit in the space, asking when we're going to ape the Leviathan Treasury into Nest on stream. So why don't we, when Llama Risk comes out with their report, why don't we just make it like a spectacle? We will have Llama Risk present their research. You guys can join, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, I like that. I think it will be great once the report is now in works, and then I come and stream with Wormhole, others, and then we can go over all the ins and outs of the max LRT strategies and the risks associated with it, and the opportunities we see. Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about YNBTCK? Because I'm just I'm always curious about Bitcoin stuff, because I still hold Bitcoin, and I'm glad I do, because it's doing way better than ETH.
Yeah, the BTCK. Yeah, BTCK is basically a strategy we deployed for kernel. There is a lot of interest on the BNB chain side to expand the restaking narrative there as well, and they asked us to create LRTs there and collaborate with Binance Labs and the kernel team to explore what we could do there. And then there's a lot of interest for BTC restaking on BNB chain. And we developed YNBTCK as kind of a first BNB strategy. And YNB BTCX vaults is still in development, and the YNBTCK is kind of like an underlying strategy for BTC restaking on BNB chain specifically. And you can see again, right, like the people that want to restake BTC, okay, they go to BTCK, and then once BTCX goes live, it's going to be this thing that probably settles on ETH L1, or we were even thinking about maybe looking into even settling it on this Bitcoin layer itself. But that's ongoing research. Probably we start just with settling it on the ETH L1, and then going further and expanding these strategies. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, and the screenshot here of your homepage, you got the YNB as well. So just really, really nailing this on all sorts of different dimensions here.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, and a lot more to come. In crypto, I was more first on the researcher and this community side and in the background, and now on the forefront of a product. It's definitely a lot of like building the plane as you're flying. I mean, that's our industry mostly, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Now we got some questions coming in from the community, which one of which is from Puffer, who a big shout out to Puffer. He's been helping out revamping our Discord. We keep promising that we're gonna finally revamp our Discord and get it live. Maybe this time it'll be 2025 will be the year. But more announcements of that coming soon. Puffer was asking, how will the token accrue value?
Which token are we talking about? We talked about a lot of different tokens.
I'm assuming this is the Nest or the Yieldnest YN. What was the letters?
YND. Yeah, so YND is the top protocol token that basically generates revenue from all the different products that it deploys. And also the whole AI agent like Swarm and agentic framework that we use to optimize the strategies. These agents in itself generate revenue by, what sounds like the portfolio management, having a subscription for the terminal, getting insights. So there will be multiple revenue streams that will be created downstream, and it all kind of syncs back to YND token value, and also the Nest itself has like value because the AI bot has a mandate to make sure that Nest goes up in value in lockstep to YND. Yeah.
Got it. And please, folks, drop your questions on X or on YouTube, because we're approaching 700 aggregate viewers, which is pretty good for a cold Friday, which is often derided as one of the unhappiest days of the year. But we know that this is a Llama Party, so there's nothing to be unhappy about. Puffer is obviously asking if we could go blue pill. Is it possible for me to redo it, or am I locked in like with cookies? Do I need to reset my cache to redo the journey?
You can do the blue pill. It won't lock you out of anything.
All right. Okay. Let's make that happen then. So we'll just redo this, but we'll see what the actual suits get to see when they go in. Yeah. When Larry Fink is visiting the website, he's going to take the blue pill, right?
Well, maybe not so soon, or maybe he won't soon.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. So it's could be a choice. Let's see. Oh, sorry, you're not ready for this. System shutting down.
Yeah, the finance matrix. It always says like, don't trust humans, just trust math. It's a very feisty AI bot.
Nice.
It's very
I
funny.
want to have some fun with Nest.
I would like to challenge everyone. Try to poke our AI agent and see how it responds to you. You can tag it, or you can talk to it.
Could we try this live on Twitter, X, whatever it's called?
It's not.
I mean, you could do it. It may take a little while to respond. It's not instant responses. It may take a few minutes.
Got it. All right. Well, while I try and think of something smarmy to say to it, what else? Like with Yieldnest, like we've covered a lot. We've covered max LRTs. We've covered YNB and B, YNBTC. Your AI agents. Like there's a ton always cooking with the Yieldnest team. Anything big that we missed?
No, I think we covered everything, and amazing. I'm now actually have to jump off. I'm going to have a chat with DeFi Dad about the whole agent and the Nest TGE, Yieldnest TGE that's coming up. So very exciting time for Yieldnest. Yeah.
Yeah, give DeFi Dad my best. We got to get him on our show sometime. So
I'm definitely gonna shill Leviathan News and Squids and everything. Maybe Sean, you want to stay on for a bit with Garrett? I unfortunately have to jump off now, but yeah,
no worries,
that's
Dale. Pleasure to have you. And
Yeah.
Sean, we'll kick it as long as you like, or if you want to bounce, that's fine too.
thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
I mean,
I
if
really
you guys,
appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
was just gonna I was mostly just curious to hear your opinions on like the wider macro view of the space. At this point, we're like okay, so like one of the questions that I'd had for Deo, which is kind of like not super critical in terms of like Yieldnest, but just like obviously like you launched with a very heavy focus on Ethereum, and there's been a ton of like drama going on with the Ethereum Foundation lately. I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on like the restructuring potentially of Ethereum.
I'm trying to not dive into that too much right now. It's too much drama, and I'm too deep into the agent space. I'm good. I'm distracted.
Fair, yeah. Maybe we could ask the Yieldnest agent about it, what it should do.
Maybe that's a good question.
All right. Let me try that right now. And yeah, in the meantime, like you've been coding a lot in terms of like just getting the AI agent off the ground. Like, what are some of the what's some of the stuff that you've learned getting deep into the weeds on this?
Yeah, so like some of my biggest learnings is first, while I was just deciding what framework to choose, I ended up going with the ELIZA framework just because it allowed so much flexibility and things to develop and freedom of how to bring in new capabilities. And it basically, these frameworks are just structuring large language models and getting them to ingest new data points and being able to analyze all of these data points. And the biggest challenge is getting formatting all this data to get the large language model to like understand it and packaging it in a way so that the model can go and search its own information store and keep getting new information. And doing all of this is really challenging. And I think this is what AIXBT has accomplished so well and why it's doing so well in the agent space right now. And so these are some of the biggest challenges.
Yeah, you'd mentioned that you programmed it with things like the text of the sovereign individual. Was there any other interesting things that you fed to it? I think everyone should be feeding it Asimov's robot code.
That would be pretty funny. Maybe need to feed it some more matrix stuff. But yeah, it's just some really kind of try to train it on Agent Smith's personality to imitate this as much as possible, and the manifesto that they mentioned.
Which matrices? Which matrices? Is it just the original Matrix 1, the Matrix 2, Matrix 3 sequel, or like the newer generation reboot? Like a
you just gave me more ideas. I wasn't that specific. But maybe can do some more interesting stuff. I didn't think about that.
That's very cool. Now, to what extent, like, because obviously, like, your AI bot is doing like a few different things, because it's doing like financial advising on some level, and it's also doing like Twitter/X/ like talking with people live. Is like, are you having to like build different models for these different tasks, or is it all under like one umbrella?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I guess one of the things that we're using right now is Nest has the ability to select different large language models based upon the task. So it can use, the way I'm accomplishing this is I'm using the Heuris LLM right now, which is a more decentralized LLM network. And they're supporting all of the ELIZA devs, so this is one of the reasons why I moved to them. And but I like that they're decentralized and creating this compute network of GPUs to use different large language models. And so for smaller, simpler tasks, I'm using a small model. For more larger tasks that needs a lot of analysts, I'm using the largest model I can get through them. And yeah, like prompts will vary based upon certain tasks and what it can do and where it's getting data from. But the goal here is to have like this ultimate shared context where that the agent can kind of be able to know everything that it's interacting with. So if it's having messages on Twitter, and maybe somebody is talking to it through the token gated terminal that we'll have later on, it will be able to know that kind of information and utilize it in live, in live chats.
Interesting. Now, as far as like feeding it information, the Twitter like timeline is fairly closed down, and so much of crypto information comes through like X/Twitter, whatever you want to call it. How are you getting it like this data on this kind of like comprehensive overview of DeFi? Because one of the things I found about like Claude and OpenAI is they're terrible at it. Grok is pretty good because they have proprietary access to Twitter, but their AI like is not as good as like OpenAI and Claude. So it's like none of them like really at this point have been like really good at DeFi.
Yeah, so again, I'm going to be promoting the ELIZA framework again. These guys built this Twitter scraper that enables full capability of accessing Twitter. So right now we're building out like this entire capability to be able to scrape all of Twitter's functionalities. So the agent can search, the agent can obviously reply and post, will be able to like, retweet, quote, and it'll be able to grok search very soon too. I hope to enable this next week, so it can utilize that data as well. And then we are working on DeFi data sources with different plugins to let the agents use this information. The goal is to find some good on-chain data sources, so it's constantly monitoring on-chain like blocks, like watching blocks as they're created. This is not so easy to do, but this is the goal.
Interesting. That's really cool. Well, definitely make sure to ingest the Leviathan newsfeed because we got a pretty good, and we have like a few public API endpoints you could use to pull like live news sourced by all the Squid community on crypto, DeFi, etc.
Perfect. Yeah, I love the Leviathan newsfeed. It's got great data. So yeah, actually, I will definitely do that.
Nice. I'll follow up with you after the call to make sure that happens. When you just real quick on the ELIZA scraping X, do you have to pay X API for access to that, or they managed to do it for free?
Yeah, I think they built this like custom Twitter scraping program, which is built integrated into the ELIZA framework.
Interesting. That's very cool. And then just general costs like hosting this. I noticed that like that's becoming like the big thing is like a lot of the cloud infrastructure providers like trying to jump on the AI trend. Like what are you finding in terms of like actually like deploying the infrastructure for running these AI agents? Like cuz I look at like just doing it on my like home computer to save money. But is it like necessary? Can you like get cloud computing that's cheap enough to like handle these models at pretty large scale?
Yeah, that's also a good question. It was one of my biggest concerns when I dived into this, and I actually started building a crazy computer just so I could run this stuff from home too. But it's actually not that expensive. I could see some people are paying like $1 a day to use OpenAI endpoints just for the data from OpenAI. I'm thankfully Hearst is giving us free use of the LLM, so it's free right now. I don't expect it to be horribly expensive. They advertise is quite a bit cheaper than OpenAI, and that's not that expensive. So it's really not as expensive as you may think it is. And we're hosting this in Railway, which is basically built on top of Amazon AWS, and it's very reasonable to run yourself.
Nice. Because I mean, ChatGPT is you're right. It's not that expensive, but it can add up very quickly. I noticed, and they are like 10x more expensive than a lot of the other frameworks out there. I don't know if you caught DeepSeek in the past week or something, which is apparently like China's like very cheap answer to OpenAI, and it's also like supposedly outperforms it.
I just got wind of DeepSeek a little while ago, but I haven't dived into them quite yet. But I'm hearing more and more about it, so I guess I really got to look into it.
There we go. There we go. Real quick, we have got an answer. So let me just go ahead and bring up Nest AI has replied to my question about the Ethereum Foundation drama. And Nest AI, in its best Agent Smith voice, says it's irrelevant. And the DeFi matrix is the underlying mechanics and decentralized decision-making processes that truly matter. The notion of drama is a TradFi construct, a distraction from the inevitability of DeFi adoption. That's really, really good.
Yeah, well, it will only get better too.
Very good stuff. I know that you go like you're all super busy. So I don't want to keep you any longer. Is there anything else that you guys want to plug that that either Dale would plug if he were here, or that you would like to plug yourself?
Yeah, I think keep watching out for Yieldnest and Nest. Keep following Nest and Yieldnest, and you can follow myself on Twitter as well. And yeah, we keep pushing a lot of updates in the next 30 to 60 days. I think like it's crazy how many things we have in the pipeline with YNEX getting released very soon, getting some nice high yielding APY on ETH. We're very excited for that product. And then our whole TGE coming out early March is exciting. If you haven't participated in our seeds program, that's a great time to get some seeds to get an airdrop from Yieldnest. My Twitter is Yield Sensei.
Just want to make sure I'm following you as well. I'm not. See, good thing you shouted that out.
Oh.
Okay, Yield Sensei. All right.
Yeah. Cool.
Excellent. Well, Sean, thank you. Thank you so much for joining. It's been an absolute blast. Give Dale my best as well as Rex and Sam and all the amazing people who issued like some surprise wishes partway through the stream. There's been a lot of fun, everyone. It's a reminder, today is January 24th. This is a Leviathan live stream. We appreciate all you joining, and we'll catch all you squids on the next tide.